GTA Online is a game about getting rich and buying lots of stuff, but not every purchase is good or even helpful. Instead, some can be net drains, like the document forgery office, the arena workshop, and maybe even the facility, unless you really love running the Bogdan glitch. So in today's video, what I'm gonna do is think out of the box and list 10 of the most helpful items that every solo player should own in GTA Online. Some of these will be vehicles, others will be businesses, and some will be vehicles that double as businesses. But what all of these have in common is that all of these items will make life way easier for you in Los Santos. Well, that is to say, after you've spent the cash to buy them, of course. And when I think of stuff that really makes my life easier in Los Santos, at the top of my list, I've got the agency. It's an operations center for my security contracts and payphone hits. It comes with a wall safe mounted in the office that collects passive income for me while I'm out doing heists and jobs. It has one of the best moneymakers in the game with the Dr. Dre VIP contract that pays a guaranteed $1.1 million for just about an hour of gameplay. And unlike the Cayo Perico heist, you can actually do the Dr. Dre VIP contract more consistently because the cooldown on Dr. Dre is just 48 minutes. Even if that's all the agency had to offer, it'd still be a banger of a deal at $2 million for the Little Seoul location. I mean, you're getting absolutely excellent tier 1 money-making potential with the VIP contract. Short, action-packed missions that you can request over the phone from Franklin to fill up the time in between your heists, and you also get access to some pretty awesome co-op missions with two of the best characters from story mode, Franklin and Lamar. Plus, you have all the Dr. Dre hip-hop stuff, which includes exclusive music tracks that he made just for this GTA Online DLC, and what's awesome is the agency's benefits don't end there. You get this Mark II armory, which is one of a kind, or at least it was until the Mansions DLC, because you could buy armor and gear in here. Now you can do the same at your mansion, but one of those costs $12 million plus, while a maxed out agency with the armory, the vehicle workshop, and personal quarters is still well under $4 million. And let's not forget the fact that you can take the company's Super Valito and stash it away in your own hangar and then call it in later as a personal vehicle. That's millions of dollars cash back on your agency purchase right there, and having something that flies this fast early on gives you a massive advantage over players who are still driving around in their armored Kurumas and Dukes of Death. So yeah, definitely grab yourself an agency ASAP, especially if you're on a brand new account or new to the game. It bypasses the rank requirements for super heavy armor and it lets you get the best protection early on. It gives you Amani tech upgrades, and these are the best defense against free roam griefers, and the agency gives you fast travel around the map in the form of the SUV service. The agency simply cannot be beat if we're talking about value for money here, and all it takes is a couple days of running Cluck and Bell plus the No Way Out missions to scrounge up enough cash for a fully upgraded agency. Alright, now my next pick is going to be a little bit different here. It's this funny looking piece of alien tech that can only be obtained from the gun van, and it goes in and out of stock on a pretty consistent basis here, so you may have to wait a bit before you can get your hands on this weapon. Even if you have the requisite $399,000 at hand, it could be months before the Up-n-atomizer is back in rotation at the gun van. But when it is available for a select week, you'll be the first to know by subscribing to my YouTube channel because I do daily news updates for GTA 5 Online, and all you have to do is click that notification bell and you'll know exactly when this piece of alien tech is back in action. But why do I recommend it so highly? Well, it's definitely not for the damage, because the Up-n-atomizer, if used on players, will function more like a stun gun than an actual firearm. It'll ragdoll them all over the place, which is funny for a while, but once they get up, they're gonna be quite pissed at you, and you better have an actual gun in your hand at the ready, because those guys, once they get up, won't be firing blanks at you. But no, the real purpose of the Up-n-atomizer is getting things unstuck, whether it's cars, people, trucks, your sail vehicles, aircraft, you name it. There's nothing that flies, walks, or rolls that can't be moved with an Up-n-atomizer, no matter how large or how heavy. And I personally think that the Pounder custom cell missions are a nightmare unless you have one of these, because that thing is very easy to get stuck. And when it gets high centered on a rock or some other random railing on the side of a road, the only way to get it unstuck without an Up-n-atomizer is by ramming a heavy vehicle into it. Same goes for the MC sail missions where you get a Pounder box truck. That thing is also very easy to get stuck on random trash, as is the case with the garbage trucks. And it's not just cell missions where you'll find the Up-n-atomizer handy as well. It can be used to do all kinds of interesting stuff, like wall glitching, rocket jumping into otherwise inaccessible areas on the map, getting your scramjet out of the pool, trolling newbies. The possibilities are honestly endless here. But if you want some real firepower, you need this, the Combat MG Mark II. slap a 200 round extended box mag on there, attach a scope, a muzzle brake, go into first person, hold that trigger down, and watch your enemies melt away like popsicles in the Sahara Desert. Then, if you want some anti-vehicle action, load it up with FMJ rounds, and you'll absolutely shred cars and light aircraft to pieces. It's similar to a Rambo movie where Rambo grabs his M60 and absolutely demolishes an entire platoon of bad guys who just rolled up in their crappy Soviet truck. Except the Combat MG Mark II is based on an M60, and it hits way harder than any assault rifle in the game. And in first person, with a scope and a muzzle brake, I'll say it's pretty dang accurate too. Another gun we absolutely cannot forget is the assault shotgun. Now, I personally cannot recall how many times I've bulldozed my way through a building full of bad guys, armed with nothing but an assault shotgun and some candy bars for snacks. Trust me, if there's a carbon-based life form within 5 meters of your assault shotgun barrel, and you pull the trigger a couple times, everything in that general direction will immediately cease to exist. The thing that makes the assault shotgun stand out over its other counterparts like the heavy shotgun is of course the combination of exceptional damage plus its magazine size, and it's also full auto, like the sweeper and the combat shotgun, but the assault shotgun fires even faster than those two weapons. Then you have its reload speed, which is on par with an assault rifle, meaning that the assault shotgun has all of the benefits of a shotgun minus any of the major drawbacks. Well, I guess there's still the matter of range of course, because past 10 meters you're basically shooting confetti, but as long as you're within that 0 to 10 meter range, you might as well be wielding a portable Death Star with just how insane the DPS is on the assault shotgun. And for the last gun on my list, I've got the very nice, venerable Heavy Sniper Mark II. But not just any Heavy Sniper Mark II, I'm specifically talking about the one that's equipped with explosive ammo, which can be unlocked from your bunker via its research. And what makes this configuration so special, once you throw a thermal scope on there of course, is that it turns into a 2-shot killing machine. The first shot tosses you around like a ragdoll, and the second one sends you straight to Jesus. And believe me, that second shot will land if you have explosive ammo equipped. If you get a headshot, it's a 1-shot kill, and if the other guy tries to get cute with you by deploying his Oppressor Mark II, well, guess what? You're already holding one of the best Oppressor counters in your hands. 2 explosive rounds is all it takes to turn that $8 million flying missile bike into a flaming wreck. And don't even get me started when you use this on NPC vehicles. You can take out any pursuers or any incoming vehicles to your location with this thing from super long ranges. Okay, now that we've covered all the most helpful weapons that you can buy, let's now talk about something that is the perfect endgame purchase once you own all of your core businesses, vehicles, and properties. I'm of course talking about the newly released mansions, and these start at $11.5 million for the cheapest one, which is the Tongva estate. With the pre-luxury discount, you're looking at just under $17 million for a fully optioned out Richmond villa, and approximately $19 million if you didn't get that pre-luxury gold tier membership. But I don't think you really need the fully maxed out mansion. Hell, even a basic $9.5 or $11.5 million Tongva estate comes with everything that makes these mansions so great. A master control terminal, fast travel, and a production speed boost that puts any business of your choice on a steroids program for the whole entire day. And that's one real life day, mind you, not one in-game day. I'm talking 24 hours of hyperactivity for any passive business of your choosing. That could be your math lab, your acid lab, your bunker, or something else. By the way, the numbers on that production speed boost turn out to be 200%. So for example, your businesses will churn stock at 3x speed. I've seen a lot of folks say it's a 66% boost, but that's not the case. The 66% number is merely the time reduction that your boosted businesses get. So for example, let's take the acid lab, which takes 3 hours to fill up with its own speed boost activated. Then you could stack the mansion buff on top of that, and all of a sudden, it goes from 3 hours down to just 1 single hour. Pretty insane stuff, right? But a mansion is honestly the last thing on this list that I'd purchase, and I don't mean that in a bad way, like it's a bad purchase. What I mean here is literally because it should only come after you own everything else on this list. Like for example, the bulletproof helmet, or even better, the quad lens thermal helmet, which lets you use thermal vision on any gun of your choice, regardless of whether that gun has a thermal scope attachment or not. Plus, it offers the same ballistic protection as the bulletproof helmet, which means you can take an additional 1 or 2 shots to the head. Heavy snipers and guides running AP ammo on their marksman rifles will still dome you in 1 hit, but anyone with a normal SMG or assault rifle or even a machine gun can't punch through your skull, and it will give you that extra second or two to react, which is sometimes all you need in this game. Another item I think you must own is the Oppressor Mark II, and it's the king of grinding. With an Oppressor, you get 3 things in one: an exceptionally fast bike, a compact jet aircraft, and a weapons platform that shoots some of the best homing missiles in the game. The Oppressor Mark II doesn't excel in any particular area. I mean, it's technically slower than a HSW Hakucho drag, but in practice, it's much faster because you don't need to follow the roads. It's also not as fast as the Sparrow, which is another excellent purchase and something you should buy, but there are even certain places where even a Sparrow can't go, but the Oppressor can. And you guys need to remember that the Sparrow is a tiny helicopter, but the Oppressor is even more compact, and as a result, you can park it on a boat, you can park it on rooftops, inside narrow alleyways, underneath flyovers, and the best part here is that it always spawns within a few meters of you and it takes off immediately. There's no engine spool up, just immediate takeoff, which makes it the perfect choice for doing hit and run style attacks. And while the Oppressor's homing missiles can't match those on the Vigilante or even Ruiner 2000, they're still better than the ones you get with helicopters and jets, or even the homing launcher. So in essence, the Oppressor is the ultimate jack of all trades in GTA Online when it comes to vehicles. It's nimble, it turns quick, it climbs fast, and it packs enough firepower to level a city block. But it also costs $8 million, and that's where our next entry in the list will come in handy. Meet the Terrorbyte, an armored behemoth of a truck that packs a whole bunch of high-tech gear in the back compartment. And if you go into your Terrorbyte console and do 5 of these client jobs right here, you'll cut that Oppressor Mark II purchase price down from $8 million to a much more manageable $6 million. Now, personally, I think that even at $8 million, you are getting a really good deal for how good the Mark II is, but at $6 million, it's the bargain of the century. And not only that, but you're going to need a Terrorbyte to even modify your Oppressor, because only the Terrorbyte Special Workshop can outfit the Oppressor with homing missiles and various other performance upgrades. Plus, the Terrorbyte's Master Control Terminal now functions as a nice stand-in for your mansion's Master Control Terminal, at a fraction of the price. All you need is a spare $1.25 million and a garment factory, the latter of which you should have anyway, because FIB files are really good for grinding money, and they're also really fun to play. And lastly, for my 10th most helpful purchase in GTA Online, I'm gonna give it to the auto shop. As a side note, buy yourself a nice tuner car to go with your auto shop. I recommend the Calico GTF as it will speed up your auto shop contract finales, and it's also one of the best cars for tuner class racing. Even if you aren't a huge fan of auto shop contracts, which I also don't see why you wouldn't be since they're so action-packed and compact, and they pay so well, you can still get tons of value from your personal auto shop itself. For starters, you don't have to grind for months to get the necessary rank for vehicle parts. They're all unlocked immediately in your personal auto shop, irrespective of your rank, and if you're a gearhead, I don't need to explain why that's a massive bonus. Plus, you also get a 5% parts discount on every single performance or visual modification that you make to your cars when you customize them in the auto shop, and this alone will save you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in the long run. Then, for some quick side hustles, you've also got the customer car deliveries for another $20,000 to $30,000, and some exotic exports, which could boost up your total profit per hour with this business, and you can do all these types of content in just a few minutes total. Overall, the auto shop is a business that I don't think any true GTA Online player can afford to skip out on, so grab it ASAP if you haven't already. Anyways guys, that concludes my list of the most helpful purchases that you can make in GTA 5 Online in 2026. I know I left out a bunch of cool stuff, and I might have to do a part 2 for those, so let me know down in the comments which vehicles, businesses, or weapons you'd like to see in that video if you think I missed out on any in this one. It's just really hard to condense it all down into a top 10, and I think I did the best I could here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like on it if you found it informative, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next GTA 5 Online video. Adios amigos.